Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Now today's video is going to be a contouring and highlight routine for pale skin. Now I don't have the palest skin that you could possibly have, but this was a requested video and I thought that I could possibly do it. So yeah, this is just the way I like to contour. Obviously you don't have to do exactly what I do, you don't have to apply the amount of products that I apply, but I just personally really like how it looks. So if you want to see my contouring and highlight routine, then just keep watching. So I've already primed my face and applied foundation. The foundation that I used was the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Sculpt in the shade 01 Clair Light, and this is a little bit too dark for me. So for you guys with pale skin, I wouldn't really recommend this because this is the lightest shade that it comes in. So now I'm going to go on and apply concealer. The concealer I'll be using today is the NYX HD concealer, and mine's in the shade 01CW. This has got a slight kind of yellowy undertone which will kind of help to counteract the darkness under your eyes. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that now. I've kind of included this in the video because I feel like concealer is a part of contouring, because I use my concealer kind of to highlight under my eyes as well as other parts of my face too. So I'm applying this in triangle shapes under my eyes because I want that whole area to be highlighted, and that's how you'll make your makeup look most natural, is if you kind of highlight where the light would naturally hit your face and not just in any odd random places. So I'm also applying it on other parts of my face where I don't really need the coverage, but I'm going to apply it just because I like to highlight those areas of my face to kind of match up with the highlight under the eyes. So this isn't kind of extreme by all means, it's just slightly lighter than my foundation and will just give a slight nice highlight underneath the eyes. As you can see, I would recommend this concealer to people with paler skin than me because it is very white and brightening. So I don't know what other shades it comes in, I don't know how much lighter it goes or if that's as light as it goes, but it is still really white and brightening underneath the eyes. Obviously I don't have the palest skin that you can have, but I wanted to do this video anyway because I am still pale, but I just wanted to help you guys out really and like show what I personally do to contour and highlight my face. So now that I've applied that under the eyes, I'm just going to set away. Okay, so now on to contour. Now there is a range of contour products out there. There are cream products and there are powder products. I like both, to be honest. If I am going out like somewhere special, I will cream contour and then apply some powder contour over the top just so I know it's going to stay on. Whereas if I'm just going out in the daytime, I will just apply a powder. I've got some examples of different contour palettes that you can get your hands on. The first one is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Sculpt. Mine's in the shade light medium. This is the lightest shade. I do think this would be great for pale skin and people paler than me because it does look a bit scary in the pan. Once this is blended out, it kind of dulls down a lot more and becomes a bit less pigmented, so I think it would be great for people with pale skin. This is the kind of powder contour kit that I would recommend, mainly just because of one shade, and it's this shade here. I think this is perfect for contouring. It's kind of a right amount of cool and warm tone in it. I'm not too keen on these shades here, but this is like £4, so even if you're just buying it for this shade, I definitely think it's worth it. And then the more expensive option for a powder highlight is the Smashbox contour palette. It comes with 3 different shades, similar to the Barry one. This is the contour shade. I absolutely love this shade. It works like a dream. It's so nice and smooth. I don't know what this is on my hands, and I don't know where it's come from. What the heck? It also has a nice bronzer in it and a nice matte highlight, which I really love for brightening up your under eyes. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to stick to drugstore products, although I do really love this palette. and I do have the big version of it which has eyeshadows and eyebrow products in, and I use that a lot in my videos. But I'm just going to be sticking to these two products today. I'm going to be doing a cream and powder contour today. If you don't want to use both, that's absolutely fine. You could just use the powder. I mean, you could just use the cream, but you kind of need to set it so it doesn't budge. So if you're just going to go for one, I would definitely go for just the powder. But if you're going to go for both, then go for both. So I'm now going to be applying my cream contour product. I did just put a bit of this on, but the ISO was crazy, so I just had to tone that down a bit. But yeah, I'm going to be applying this shade here on my fingers. If you are slightly paler than me and didn't want quite as high as pigment as I'm going to get, then apply this with a brush, although it won't be quite as precise application if you apply it with a brush. Just apply it with a small brush and you should be okay. But so I'm just sucking in my cheeks and applying this where that shadow would naturally be. I'm also going to be doing the same to the other cheek now. Now I'm applying two kind of strokes because that's how pigmented I want it to be. You can apply less or more or whatever, you can build it up. So I'm also applying it around my temples, which is this area here, because I want my face to appear slimmer. As I have a round shaped face, the whole point of contouring is to make it look longer and also less wide, so it looks less rounded than it actually is. Although I struggle with this because I do have a large forehead as well, so I do have to contour kind of all around the forehead, not just on the sides. But so where you're supposed to contour kind of depends on your face shape. I personally have a round shaped face and this is how I like to contour, so I'm just going to take this on my forehead here as well. Typically this is how, I think this kind of contour would work for any kind of face shape really. I'm also applying it along my jawline as I just want like a nice bold jawline. I'm also going to be contouring my nose, but I'm not going to be doing that yet. So now all that product's on, I'm going to go ahead and buff it out with a brush. I'm going to be using the Real Techniques contour brush as I feel like this is the perfect size to contour with and it won't look too harsh. I'm just using these sort of motions to buff out that colour. Now I'm doing this really lightly because I want this to look as natural as possible basically, and the lighter strokes you use and the longer you do it for, basically the more natural it's going to look. So I'm swiping it kind of into this kind of area here. If you have rounded cheeks, I don't, but some people when they smile, they have kind of really big apples to their cheeks. So if you have them sort of cheeks, I really recommend bringing it up around the cheek. But I'm just going to swipe down because I don't have them sort of cheekbones. So as you can see, as I'm blending this out, it looks so natural. To me in real life that is really natural. I'm not quite sure how it's going to look on camera looking. That's why I think if you have paler skin and you just apply one kind of layer of this, I think it would be a perfect contour shade. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend this side out just as I did this one here. Okay, so that is the cream contour done. This product is actually a cream to powder kind of formula, which I personally really like, but I just want to make sure that stays in place, so I am going to set it. And to set it, I'm going to be using this shade here, and basically I'm going to be applying this in exactly the same places that I applied the shade earlier. So I'm literally putting the tiniest amount on my brush. The key to this is to apply a tiny amount at a time, and you can build it up, whereas if you suddenly apply too much, it's really hard to kind of tone down, whereas if you apply a little bit at a time, I don't think you can go wrong. Okay, so I'm personally very happy with that. I personally like to contour my nose. Now I'm going to be going back to the cream product to contour my nose, as I feel it just works easiest. Now I'm going to use a really small kind of eyeshadow brush to do this. I'm just applying a tiny bit of the product onto the brush, and then I'm just going to go down the sides of my nose. Now I'm doing this so lightly. Now the reason why I'm contouring my nose is not only to make it look slimmer, but also so that it kind of matches up to the rest of my face, because So it's now on to bronzer. Now I'm just going to be using the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. I love this bronzer. It's a lovely colour. This colour is in the shade Sun Bronze 022, and this is a really nice shade for me. But I'm just going to talk about the differences between a contour shade and a bronzer. I'm going to show you the Smashbox one because there's a big difference basically. So this is a contour shade and this is a bronzer. Now a bronzer is typically more warm, and if you don't know what I mean by that, I mean the colour resembles orange more than brown. So if I look at that, I'm thinking, okay, that looks more orange than brown. Whereas if I look at this one, I'm thinking, okay, that looks more brown than orange. So that's kind of how you tell the difference. A cool tone has more kind of greyish undertones to it, whereas a warm tone has more warm and orange undertones to it. So that is the difference. The reason why you want to use a cool tone shade for your contour is because it kind of resembles a shadow a lot better, whereas if you apply this as a contour, it will look extremely muddy, it will just look very unnatural, and you'll be orange basically. What I do when I apply my bronzer is I kind of smile and just dust this kind of over that cheek area there, kind of just above the contour. Now I also find bronzer helps to blend out the contour, and kind of acts as a bit of a transition shade. There's three types of brushes that I like to use for highlight. There is this setting brush, which I used to set my concealer earlier. I feel like this blends out highlight really nicely, and it's a really nice shape to apply highlighter with. It's not too big and it's not too small. Then there is a fan brush. I feel like this doesn't pick up much product, so if you want more of a natural highlight, then I would definitely recommend using a fan brush. And then I have, this is a bit odd, but I have this foundation brush from Real Techniques. Now, I don't really know, this is a flat paddle brush, and these are pretty useless. I don't find much use out of them, but I didn't want to waste a brush. So I've found that applying highlighter with this brush works quite well, because you can just kind of blend it in, and it's very precise, so you can be very accurate with where you're applying it. So, and also it's really handy to like do the tip of the nose and kind of the bridge of your nose as well. So they're kind of the three brushes that I like to use. Today I'm going to be using this brush here just because I find it blends the product the best out of all three of them. Now if you have pale skin, you do not want to go for a highlighter like this one, which is very pink. When this is applied to my face, it's more like kind of pink specks on the face. So if you have pale skin, you definitely want to go for more of a light shade, kind of nearing white, because obviously you have paler skin and that's kind of the colour that's lighter than your skin. But yeah, I think that this kind of highlight shade works a lot better than one with a golden bronze undertone or a pink undertone. So definitely head for a highlight that is very light and white. I like to kind of smile when I do my highlight because it kind of brings out this kind of cheek here. So I'm going to be applying it all over this area here. The highlight that I'm using is, I actually love this highlight, it's the MUA Undress Your Skin Shimmer Highlight in the shade Iridescent Gold. So as you can see, that's giving a nice golden glow to the face, but it's not too golden that it looks really unnatural. If you're a person who wants to look very, very natural, I'd definitely head for a liquid highlighter. A highlighter that I recommend is also used as a primer, and it's the L'Oreal Lumi Magique primer, but it's very brightening, and I really love applying that as a highlighter because it's very natural, very kind of it looks more dewy than kind of sparkly, if you know what I mean. I'm applying this to the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose, my cheeks, here, above my brow bone. I'm being a bit messy with this because I'm not too bothered about if it goes into my eyeshadow or not. I'm also applying this over the lips. Now the reason why people apply highlighter over the lips is just to make them look a bit fuller and kind of to draw attention to them so that they look more full and big, basically. So that brings me to the end of this video. Now I really hope you guys, that was my chair, I really hope you guys found this video helpful. It was a requested video, that's why I chose to do it, and I just thought hopefully it will help you guys out. This is just the way I like to contour. Obviously you can go more full out than this, you can apply a lot less if you want to, but that's completely up to you. But I really hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please do give it a huge thumbs up. Comment below if you liked it and any other videos that you'd like me to do, because I love hearing your guys' suggestions. And subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!